What's the dirtiest game you can think of? Cards Against Humanity? The Ann Summers board game, perhaps? Or what about publishing? Sure, for the writers it's all romance and typewriting by a lake until the mage comes out and scatters your manuscript to the wind and sends it into the lake, and that's the love, actually, isn't it? Publishing is a filthy, filthy industry. Because it's all about the money. They're not interested in nuance, they're not interested in how good a book actually is. They're just interested in making a profit. It's another example of the capitalist shitstorm we live in. And that's just the legitimate side of things. The underbelly, the dark side of publishing, that is dangerous. For those of you who've been here for a while, you'll know that when I'm not doing a PhD, occasionally write books. I've got an entire shared literary universe. We've even got merchandise. Look, these beautiful t-shirts. Mine needs an iron. There's a link in the description down below. But yeah, I write things. It makes a tiny bit of money. Not a lot, but I enjoy doing it. I do it because I enjoy doing it. And because I write things, I try and get them legitimately published. So far, not very successfully. But hey ho, maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll get taken on by a legitimate publisher. They'll like me. I'll get to see my name in lights. I started trying to get legitimately published rather than self-published about 5 or 6 years ago. And each time I finish a book, I send it out to the literary agents, see if they want it. Most of the time, they don't. But that's okay. My work isn't for everyone. And one of the ones I tried to send out, it was like, I think maybe the second or third that I tried. I think it was the second. And it was Charlie Fuller, which is the story of a man who abandons his wife and child to go to Civil War era Spain and hunt down his former best friend, who has been indoctrinated by fascists. It's maybe one of my darker books, and it's got one hell of an amazing twist in there. One which not only affects the book you've just read, but the next one as well. Which is this one, There May Be Trouble Ahead. This is actually this is the actual book, but the cover is one I mocked up for a short film I'm making. I finished it just as Trumpism was starting, just as populism was starting, just as the far right were becoming more prominent. It's still socially relevant today. It was socially relevant then. It's even more socially relevant now. But of course, publishing, only interested in money. All the emails I got back, yeah, we don't think this will sell, there's no market for this. Which is a publishing euphemism for, we don't think this will appeal to 40-year-old middle-class white women with white women's Instagrams. So by this point I've sent a few books off to the literary agents, which makes me realise now that this wasn't the second, it was like the third or the fourth. And I start thinking, okay, is there a way around the literary agents? Can I go direct to the publishers? The big publishing houses, not a chance. And this is where I encountered one of the predators in the underbelly. A company by the name of Austin Macaulay Publishing. They seemed genuine. Now, the publishing industry is full of euphemisms. They send euphemisms out when they reject your book. We don't think there's a market for this. This isn't for us, which is a euphemism for this is a bit weird. Another euphemism is vanity publishing, because it appeals to an author's vanity. But the proper name for it should be fucking dirty scam. Because as it turned out, Austin Macaulay are no good dirty scamming cheats. Now, when you send a book to a literary agent, they ask for the first 15,000 words or the first 3 chapters. And the problem with Charlie is that the chapters are like stupidly long. They're like 20,000 words long. So it was like far, far too long to be sending out to the literary agents like that. I'd be sending them half the book if I sent them the first 3 chapters. So I only sent them like the first chapter at the most. But this company, they said, oh no, send us the entire book. We want the entire book. We want to read it first. We want to get a good grasp of it. And the thing that Charlie relies on is that twist at the end. It's got that fantastic payoff. And this kind of sparked my interest. So I sent it to them. I forgot about it. Until several weeks later when something arrived through the door. It's a big A4 letter type thing. It's quite thick. And this interests me immediately because I see on the back it says Austin Macaulay Publishers. I wonder what the hell it is. Open it up. It's a flipping publishing contract. Finally, at last, my name in lights. I start reading the contract. My little heart, you can see the moment it breaks. Because in there, there's a little something. To publish your book, we want £2,000. I'm heartbroken. Then my brain kicks into gear, and I start thinking, hold on. They want £2,000 minimum. They're charging like £6,000 for a deluxe service as well. I'm starting to think, hold on, there's something dodgy about this. So I start going through the contract with a fine tooth comb. And I notice other things as well. We want the copyright over the whole of the book. Everything in it will belong to us. We get the rights over everything. You get Zippo. Whoa. I'm not just going to hand over my literary universe to you. Imagine if I'd given them everything in Charlie. That would mean I wouldn't be able to use my literary universe because it's kind of a cornerstone of it. Because of the twist, it's important going forwards. There's a lot of elements in there that do some heavy lifting, setting up. There was other stuff as well in there, like you can't defame the company. There must be nothing illegal in your books. That's probably like standard publishing anyway, maybe. But it was really dodgy. It was a dodgy looking contract. So I sent them an email and said, no, I'm not going to publish with you. Fuck off, mate. And I started doing some digging into them. And I found out they were what's called a vanity publishing house. Euphemism for scam artist. And apparently they were based in Canary Wharf. And this makes them look like really legitimate. They've got an office in Canary Wharf. Wow, they must be really, really cool, really big shot, powerful company. No, their office was a donut stand. So I found out the hard way. You can't dodge the literary agents. As for Charlie, he got self-published on his 100th birthday in 2018. And you know what, it did sell a few copies. It was at the University Christmas Market a few years ago. It was the one that, when I tried to sell books, it was the one that got the most interest. And it was the only one that sold, actually, at that market. And there was even a guy there who was really interested in it. And he looked at the back cover and he said, oh, is this semi-autobiographical? Is this semi-autobiographical? No. Oh, are you sure it's not semi-autobiographical? No. Are you really sure it's not semi-autobiographical? Yes. Because I abandoned my wife and child to go to Civil War era Spain and hunt down my former best friend. Oh shit!